Hey folks, hey superstars, hey, welcome to another Sunday mindset message here. And listen, while we're getting started here, while you're getting situated for the message for the morning here, or for your Sunday, or for the week, I want you to comment the word grab the wheel. Okay? Comment these 3 words. Grab the wheel. Because that's what we're going to do. This is what I'm going to have all of you do today, right now, this week. I want you to grab the wheel. Okay? Go ahead, folks. Come on. Go ahead and comment in the comment section below. Grab the wheel. Okay? My name is Wesley Virgin. I'm a multimillionaire here in Houston, Texas. Now, future 100 millionaire. And to become a billionaire, obviously inevitable. But in my free time, I go live on Instagram every day, every night, and especially on Sundays to give you the message for the week. To just share my philosophy and my ideology with you to allow you to realize that you can have whatever you desire in your life here. Okay? And right now, I want you to grab the wheel. Comment those words below. Grab the wheel. Come on. Come on, I'm waiting on you. Comment below. Grab the wheel. Okay? Listen, what I want you to think about, okay? I want you to think about the most important aspects of your life. I believe there are 3 very important aspects of every individual's life. Man, woman, child, teenager, doesn't matter. And these are the 3. 1 is your money, okay? I think we all can agree money is extremely important. 2, your health, your body, how you look, how you present yourself to the world. And 3, last but not least, your relationships. Whether it be relationships with your family, children, your intimate relationships, your wife, your husband. Okay? But what I want to tell you here is I want you to stop being a passenger of your own life. Some of you, as it relates to those 3 areas, you are a passenger waiting on somebody else to drive you to your destination with your money. Some of you prefer other people to tell you how to spend your money, how to utilize your money, how to save your money, where to spend your money. Some when it comes to your body, there's nothing wrong with having a trainer, but some of you feel that if you don't have a trainer, you can't achieve the body that you want. Some of you are waiting for the next pill, waiting for the next workout plan, the next TikTok video to get the perfect shoulder exercise, or something that's going to make your butt bigger, or something that's going to make your arms bigger. And some of you, in your relationships, you're too busy listening to your friend about your relationship. You're talking to your mama, your daddy about your relationship. Everybody except the person that you're in the relationship with. What I want you to do right now in this moment, as you're listening to my voice, I want you to stop being the passenger of your own life. I want you to grab the wheel. Comment below, grab the wheel. My question is, when do we decide as people or individuals that desire success, when do we decide to get out of the passenger seat and drive the vehicle ourselves? Like, what are you so afraid of? Okay? I'm talking to you. Why is it so difficult for you to get behind the wheel of your own life? I learned this years ago, especially in my 20s. I didn't realize that I was a passenger in my own life because I felt that I couldn't create my own success. I felt that I needed someone to help me. I needed someone to motivate me. I needed someone to push me. It's like I didn't know something that other people knew. And I didn't realize that, well, I was just a passenger waiting for things to happen. Let me share some with you. And this is going to hit home. If you are waiting for something to take place in your life, something great, something exceptional, something that you would like, if you're waiting for things to happen, like you're sitting there waiting for the dots to connect, for the T's to cross, you will never be free. You will never have the freedom to be able to direct and control and navigate your life how you intend it to. Does that make sense? Ever. If you're waiting. Successful people, exceptional people, they grab the wheel and they take control. They don't wait. They're not waiting for the boss. They're not waiting for the manager. They're not waiting for the supervisor. They're not waiting for the mother or their father, or they're not waiting for their approvals. They're not even waiting for if it feels right. They understand the people that cross over. I call it crossover into what I call the land of paradise. They grab the wheel, they take control, and they begin to drive. It doesn't mean that they're not afraid. It doesn't mean that they don't have doubt. It doesn't mean that sometimes they're going to feel uncertain, but they grab the wheel because they understand the only way they learn how to drive is by grabbing the wheel. You can let your mama drive you. You can let your daddy drive you. Your friend drive you. You can let your partner drive you for the rest of your life. You can let a preacher, a minister, you can let all these people drive you. But until you grab the wheel, you will never be able to actually experience the process and the joy of driving yourself. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Almost most of you, I'm talking about you, you're letting people drive, and it's your life. Some of you are extremely distracted by other people, by other things. Some of you are not focused. It's not that you're not focused. You're in the passenger seat. You know, whenever I hear people, okay, like yourself, talk about how unfocused they are. Oh, I'm not focused. It's because you're in the passenger seat. Somebody else is driving your life. Somebody else is telling you, hey, let's go here. Let's do this. Hey, it's Sunday fun day. Hey, let's have fun. Let's go take a trip. Let's go do this. Let's go have some fun. Let's go have some drinks. Because what you don't realize, you're not in the driving seat. You're in the passenger seat. And the only reason why you're not in the driver's seat, because you're afraid. What are you afraid of, Wes? You're afraid to think big. There are people on here right now, they're afraid to think big. You're afraid to think about something that is so huge that you're so afraid that you may not achieve it. Some of you are afraid just to do something that is uncomfortable, like starting a business. Some of you are extremely uncomfortable as it comes to your work ethic, right? You know, maybe, say if you're a salesperson, you call 300 people a day. Why are you not calling 500 people per day? Some of you take too many breaks during your day. Some of you, watch the social media. You always tap in the stories. But you're supposed to be working. You're trying to create millions of dollars, but you're tapping and scrolling through TikTok, scrolling through Instagram, looking at people's stories. Tap, 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 tap. Like if you had $1 for every tap, all of you would be rich. Can I get an amen? You will be. Think of how many times you tap the screen on your phone. Yeah. Grab the wheel. Grabbing the wheel means put your phone down. I get it. I understand you're listening to me, but put your phone down for 2 hours. I dare you. 3 hours. Put your phone down. Work on something. Many of you can't even imagine the life that you want because you're too distracted. Distracted by the phone, the TV, the Netflix, the Hulu. Does that make sense? Okay. Hello? I'm talking to you. Grab the wheel. Grab the wheel. You know, in my early 30s, I decided to grab the wheel. Grabbing the wheel meant for me was quitting my job. I'm not telling you to quit your job. I don't know if you have a job. I don't know if you have. I decided to quit a job that was paying me $200,000 a year. I decided to grab the wheel knowing that I was going to be uncomfortable because I'd never driven before. Okay? I've never been in the driver's seat. I didn't realize in my 20s, I was a passenger waiting for other people to create my success. Waiting on a book to read to create my success. Listening to a podcast to create my success. Thinking that if I could just hear one thing, if I could just meet this one person, everything could change for me. But I didn't realize I was not driving the vehicle. And when you're not driving the vehicle, ladies and gentlemen, you're not in control. Can I get an amen? It's not church, but I know it feels that way. Okay? I'll never forget the moment. I will never forget this moment. People ask me all the time, Wesley, so what changed your life? Like, what was that defining factor, Wes, that changed everything for you? We understand that you were raised in the hood from the south side of Houston, Texas. Your parents never made more than $20,000 a year. Your parents are pastors of a church. You got one brother. You got 3 kids. But what was that change for you? We understand that you had over 30 jobs. We understand that you've been in jail a few times. Like, you had a very, very tough life. You filed bankruptcy. You had 3 repossessions. I get it. What changed for you, though? There were so many times I had negative balances in my bank account. I would call, your balance is negative $1,144. I still remember that recording, calling Bank of America. Okay? What changed? Let me tell you. I will never forget this moment when I decided to grab the wheel. And maybe what I'm about to tell you will encourage you to grab your wheel as well. Okay? I was in my bed. I think I had just broke up with my girlfriend. At the time, she lived in Dallas, and I decided to leave her because she was not the one for me. She was toxic. Okay. she was. So I decided to leave and come back to Houston, Texas, and I had to start all over from scratch. And I remember I had a few jobs at the time. I was making pretty good money. But my life was disorganized, and my life was still, I didn't feel free. Does that make sense? I just didn't feel free. How many of you feel like that? Like, you have a job, and even you make pretty good money. Maybe if you make 6 figures, but you don't feel free. You know, I mean, if like right now, if I had a job, if my job would call me right now, I have to get off this live and answer that phone. I didn't feel free. Free to do what I want to do, free to travel, free to be able to enjoy my children, enjoy my family, I wasn't free. And I never forget this moment. I'm on I think at the time I was on an air mattress because I was just trying to kind of reorganize my life a bit. And I decided to grab the wheel. And let me tell you how I did that. It was a Monday morning. It was time for me to go to work, and I didn't. I just didn't show up. I stayed at home. At the time, I was a Citrix engineer, which honestly, I could do my job from the house. So I just stopped going to work. And no one said anything, by the way. They didn't say anything. And then one day, I just stopped going to meetings. Now, I'm not suggesting this for everybody. Now, listen, This is my version of grab the wheel. Your version of grab the wheel could be disconnecting from certain people. Your version of grabbing the wheel could be divorcing your husband or your wife because you know the relationship is toxic, it's negative, and it's making you sick. Your version of grab the wheel could be stop eating unhealthy food that is killing you, okay? Your version of grabbing the wheel could be like, I need to take what I'm doing as a salesperson to the next level. Your version of grabbing the wheel would say, I'm a setter for a company. I need to set more. I need to be harder on myself and put myself in a uncomfortable and call more and be more creative. Your version of the grab the wheel could be right now telling your friend, I can't talk to you for the next year. Your version of grabbing the wheel could say, hey, you know what? I love you. I want to be with you, but I can't be with you right now. I got to break up with you. As a man breaking up with your girl. Or maybe you're a woman, you got to break up with your guy because your guy and your girl, you guys are just not equally yoked. You're not on the same page. And you say, well, I just can't waste any time anymore. I love you, but I love you enough to leave you right now. That's grabbing the wheel, by the way. Grabbing the wheel is doing what I did. And I say, I don't know if I can work anymore. So what I started to do, I stopped showing up to meetings. I wasn't going to meetings anymore. I wasn't showing up on the calls. I wasn't going to the Zoom calls anymore. I stopped. And then they fired me. In that moment, I was grabbing the wheel because now I had full control of where my life was going to go. Has anybody ever been in the place where you have full control, which meant that you release the old situation? The old situation could be a job. It could be an opportunity. It could be a school that you were going to for the last 3 to 4 years and you decided that you don't want to go to school anymore. It could be a significant other. You said, you know, I love you, but I'm done with you. That's the version of grabbing the wheel. And at that moment, I had full control, but I didn't. Okay. At that moment, I had full control. At 31, 32 years old, I have full control of my life as a man that just lost his job. I got 3 kids. At the moment, I have full control, but I didn't have full control. And let me tell you why. I didn't have full control because I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have full control because I didn't know how I was going to pay the bills. I didn't know how I was going to pay the car note, the insurance, the cell phone bill, how I was going to pay the rent, how I was going to pay all this debt off that I owe. I just left a job that was paying me $200,000 per year. As a matter of fact, they terminated me. They fired me because I wasn't going to meetings anymore. Because I decided to grab the wheel. It was risky and I was uncomfortable. Think about the first time that you're driving a car. You're uncomfortable. You want to drive fast. You want to you want to kick back and turn the radio on and jam as you're driving down the highway, but you're nervous. You're scared, so you turn the radio down. You're very focused. You don't want to make any mistakes, but I grabbed the wheel. Even though I was uncomfortable. Even though I was scared. I want you to understand, listen, I'm just like you. Don't think that I wasn't afraid and scared that everything would go wrong. I want every individual on here this morning to understand this. Listen, it's normal to feel that what if it goes wrong, Wes? What if I grab the wheel and what if I leave my job and the business doesn't work out? What if I leave that significant other and I'm lonely for the rest of my life? What if I make these big changes in my life? I move to a different city, move to a different state, and people don't like me. I don't mesh right with the community of people. Like, what if it doesn't work? What I want you to understand that every millionaire, billionaire, successful person, a LeBron James, a Kevin Hart, a Oprah Winfrey, a Taylor Swift, a Drake, all these people had moments when they were unsure. Okay? Listen, we all have moments. It is normal to think this way. Don't think that you're abnormal because you're afraid that everything is going to go wrong if you make this major move in your life. What I want you to understand that every single person on here has the opportunity and the ability to be rich and successful, but everybody on here, it won't be. Okay? But the opportunity is there. The disparity and the difference between the ones that so-called make it is that even though they feel a little doubt and fear, and maybe they're in unknown territories, they move anyway. Like me, I was driving a car by myself, right? I never driven a car by myself. I never grabbed the wheel, which means I had to create revenue because the bills didn't stop. Can I get an amen? Does the bills stop? They don't. The commitments don't stop. The child support payments, they didn't stop. Nothing stopped. Even though I made this drastic decision to grab the wheel because I wanted to control my life. I wanted to navigate this world how I wanted to do it. And to do that, it takes courage. It takes fortitude. It takes power. It takes a mind that is built like steel. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? But I still was scared. There's sometimes mornings I would wake up and say, oh my God, what am I going to do? I haven't made any money. It's been 2 weeks. I quit my job 2 weeks ago. I haven't made a dime yet. You know what I'm going to do? But let me tell you what I stopped doing, and I want to give this to you as well. Come write this down. Hey, write this down. Instead of saying, well, what if it goes wrong? I said, what if it goes right? Let me tell you something. This is my story here. If you want confirmation, go to my YouTube channel, type in Wesley Virgin, go back to my oldest videos. You're going to see a skinny black man with a peanut head, and I want you to start watching those videos. Those videos back in 2009, I was broke. I didn't have any money at all. I didn't have a lot of money at all. I had a job at the time. What I started to ask myself was this. I said, well, what if it works out? What if by quitting my job, everything works out? What if by raising my own standards, everything as far as my dreams will manifest? Okay? I began to ask those questions here. At that time, I was in a ton of debt. At that time, every single week, every single month, the money was bleeding from my bank account because I didn't have any job income anymore. But I started to ask myself different questions. See, listen, when you begin to grab the wheel, let me guide you for a second. Stop for a second. When you grab the wheel, for you to drive it, for you to navigate it, you have to start asking different questions. If you ask questions, well, what if it doesn't work out? Now you're going backwards. What if I lose everything? You're going backwards now. Well, I don't have enough money in the bank account. I don't think I could do this right now. You're going backwards. The purpose of driving and getting behind the wheel is to go forward. Okay? And to do that, you must ask better questions. What if everything works out? This is what I started to do. I said, what if everything works out? I said, what if today is the day that I have a major breakthrough? What if today is a day that I find a solution to my internet business? At the time, I was building an internet empire, but I didn't know how to build an internet empire, but that was my desire. I said, you know what if today that I have a major breakthrough in the business and I start making money? What if today I make my first sale? I begin, listen to me. I begin to say that every morning when I would get out of my bed. I say, you know what if today is the day that I'm going to bring in $1,000? What if today is the day I'm going to attract a person that's going to help me create millions of dollars? What if today is the day that I'm going to create a website that so many people are going to join and they're going to buy my program? What if today is the day that I'm going to write a video and create a video sales letter that everybody's going to buy around the world? What if today is the day that I'm going to get so many affiliates that they're going to promote my product on autopilot that I can sit back and travel the world every single month? What if today is the day that I'm going to go to a Lamborghini dealership, instead of financing them Lamborghini, I'm going to pay for it cash? Like, what if that day happens today? What if today is the day I get a call from a client that wants to pay me $15,000, $30,000 to invest in my company? And you know what happened? Just to tell you the story, I had a young lady 3 weeks later from Houston, Texas. She was the black lawyer from Houston, Texas. She called me out of the blue. She didn't call me. I'm sorry. She emailed me. She didn't know who I was, but she saw my program on the internet. I don't know how she found me, but she did. And this woman reached out to me and said, I love your story. I read it online, and I want to work with you, and I want you to train me. And I replied back. I said, young lady, thank you so much. I appreciate your email. However, I don't train personally. I have a boot camp here in Houston, Texas, and I train people outside. I train people at the park here at Memorial Park. Feel free to come out there and train with me. She replies back, thank you so much. However, I need you personally. I don't like to be around people. I'm kind of a shy person, and I would prefer to be trained personally. What's your price? What's your rate? This is a true story, by the way. This is almost like a month after me leaving my job. And every day I tell myself, I say, what if it all works out? What if I make this amount of money? What if I was doing it every day? Well, what if everything works out? What if I get what I want? What if I buy a new car? What if I can take care of my parents and tell them they can retire themselves? What if? I would just ask myself the what if in the direction of the affirmative, in the positive direction. And I replied back to the woman. And honestly, I didn't want to train anybody personally. I didn't want to do personal training. I enjoyed the boot camp training. I enjoyed the camaraderie of people at the time. And I said, young lady, listen, I don't do this. I don't train personally. But if you want me to train you, I'll need you. My rate is $500 an hour. To be very honest with you, at that time, it was an arbitrary number. I pulled it out of my butt. I'm going to be honest with you. I just thought about the most insane number that no one would pay. Because my boot camp at the time was $50 a month. Yeah. People were paying me $50 a month, and I would train them 5 days a week outside. I had a lot of people. I had over 200 people at Memorial Park training them. It was fun. I loved it. And I said, what is the number that I know this woman's not going to pay me? I said, $500, and I typed on the email. I said, and I need that money in advance. That young lady replied to the email and said, where do I meet you to give you the money? Like, I cannot make this up. I swear to God. This is when I decided to grab the wheel. A month before I decided to grab the wheel and really take control of my own individual life and leave the job and leave the rat race and leave all that control and all the people that's trying to tell me what to do, when to go to lunch, when I can travel, when I can have PTO time. I said, forget that. I don't want to do that stuff anymore. A month after grabbing the wheel, this woman proceeds to drive to my apartment, and I met her downstairs. I was staying at 3000 Sage Apartments. Look it up, in Houston, Texas. And this woman had a white envelope. Her name is Kim. And she handed me $8,500. She handed me $8,500. Now, it's kind of hard to believe that, because it's like, what? And the only thing I did, listen to me, I was not smarter. I didn't read another book. I wasn't listening to another podcast. All I did was change the questions that I was asking to myself. That's it. Instead of saying, oh, what if it worked? What if it doesn't work out? Oh my God, things are not working out. This is so hard. When is it going to get back? I didn't do that anymore. I said, everything is working out. I said, man, what if everything changes today? What if I get over $1,000 in my bank account and get deposited today? What if I get a ton of customers today, over 10,000 customers today? What if my website start converting right now? What if the phone calls that I'm making to people and people just start buying like crazy right now? That's the only thing that I did. I just changed the questions that I was asking myself. And the young lady shows up, pays me $8,500 for the next year and a half, almost 2 years. She paid me $10,000 per month while I was building the empire, the 30 million plus empire that I have today. Comment the words, grab the wheel. If you feel that it's time for you to grab the wheel, comment below, grab the wheel. Like, I'm giving you permission. I'm letting you know. I'm giving you the blueprint here. I'm giving you permission to grab the wheel at this moment right now. Just grab it. What I want you to know, as a person that has been poor, I've been average, and I've been rich, what I want you to know is, listen, a heart to heart, you're going to be okay when you decide to grab the wheel. If you decide to take your life to the next level, which means you're going to be very uncomfortable, listen, you're going to be okay. If you realize that you just got to do more to get more, you're going to be okay. If you decide to dream a little bit big, listen, you're going to be okay. If you got to invest a little money and invest a little time to get what you want, you're going to be okay. Does that make sense, ladies and gentlemen? Just grab the wheel. Because many of you are wasting time. If you're in your 20s, grab the wheel right now. You're young. If you're in your 20s, you're a teenager, grab the wheel. Go for it. Don't listen to anybody else that's telling you not to go for it. Just go for it. Grab the wheel. If you're in your 30s right now, what are you waiting for? You're about to be 40. You're going to breathe and you're going to be 40 years old. My best friend yesterday, he turned 39. I said, man, you almost 40. Listen, grab the wheel. If you're in your 30s, what are you waiting for? You're almost middle age. Middle age is not 50, it's 40. Okay? People are dying sooner. They're not living longer for some reason. They're dying fast. Grab the wheel. If you're 40, you're middle age right now. There's no guarantee that you're going to live past 80. What the hell are you doing? You got less than 40 more years to live. Grab the wheel. Like the pain that you're thinking about, well, what if it's not going to work out? This is too hard. What if I lose everything? I don't want to lose this. I don't want this. And what you don't realize, you're going to lose everything if you don't grab the wheel. You'll never understand how it feels to be free, to be able to take your children around the world like I have. My children have been to over 10 plus countries around the world. You will never feel the feeling of flying first class with your children to go to Disney World, not in Florida, not in California, in Japan, like I have. You will never see how it feels to go to Paris and to go to Italy and do school shopping in Italy. Not Houston, Texas, not New York, not America. I did that. I gave them that experience. You will never know how it feels to be able to go to a car dealership called Mercedes and purchase a 560 brand new Mercedes vehicle and drive it to your parents' house and give your father his dream car. I did. Okay? You will never know how it feels to be able to bless the mother of your children with a brand new house. I did. Okay? You would never know how it feels to fly Emirates business class with your 3 children. And if you ever flown Emirates in business or first class, they have these big screens. And you can play video games. And we were going to Dubai at the time. Me and my 3 children. And we were playing this game. It's called bowling. It was a bowling game. So imagine on a flight to Dubai with your children during the week, playing a bowling game together in first class for 10 hours. Like, just imagine that. Having a good time. Spending time with the people that you love most. Comfortable. Playing games in the sky with your family. I did. Picture yourself going to the Virgin Islands, flying to the U.S. Virgin Islands and taking a private helicopter that's $5,000 each way, landing on a private island in the British Virgin Islands, renting a beautiful mansion just for you and your 3 children. You have a maid, you have a chef, you have everybody, you have a beautiful view. And the only reason why you take this trip, because you take a trip every single summer, and you do that just to have family time, where you separate from the world and you get the opportunity to really talk to your kids, to go deep with them. I did. To go out with them. We went to the Virgin Islands. We went to dinner every night. One night we went on a boat, went to a nice little dinner here. We dressed up, me and my children. I did. Now my question is, why not you? Like, imagine, like, my dad's a pastor. His name is Pastor Wesley Virgin. He's been a pastor for 40 plus years. He teaches Christianity. He's a Kojic pastor, Pentecostal. My dad's dream was always to visit where Jesus was born. So imagine being able to bless your father with his dream vacation and say, Dad, I want you to go to Tel Aviv. I want you to go to Israel. I want you to go to Jerusalem. And he goes. And he gets the opportunity to see and be able to be in the city of the place that he's been studying for decades. I did. All because you decided to grab the wheel. Isn't that amazing? All because I decided in a small 700 square foot apartment to grab the wheel, leave my job, and start this journey of creating my destiny the way I wanted to create it. Yeah. My question to you is, who's next? Who's next? This is the reason why I created overnightmillionaireuniversity.com. We have so many people that are signing up every single day. And so many people are enrolling to this college. This is a university that I have created over 10 years of information that I've learned. I've been a self-made millionaire for about 10 plus years now. And all the information that I've learned, my philosophy that I've not just taught to you, I've taught to others who have made millions of dollars, is now in a university. My university is not designed for you to learn math and history and science, things that you would probably never use in life. Every class, every course in the university prepares you for life to win at life. Let me say it again. Every course that you enroll in at overnightmillionaireuniversity.com is designed for you to create and understand how to create an exceptional life. Many things that you can learn in a university is very different because it's not linear learning. We're not teaching you 2 plus 2 is 4. We're not telling you Christopher Columbus discovered America in 1492. We're not talking about the periodic table. Okay? We're not teaching you English and math and science. We're showing you how to use your thoughts We're teaching you how to understand your own individual behavior, your emotions, all the questions, all the existential questions that you have about life. Why am I here? What's my purpose? Why am I not motivated? I answer those questions for you in a way that you understand it. Because what I understand is once you understand it, you will apply it. Everything in the university is broken down at a fifth grader level, which means even your fifth grader son or kid, son or daughter can understand the information that is in overnightmillionaireuniversity.com. I know some of you want to enroll. You can either go to overnightmillionaireuniversity.com, or go to my bio and click the first link and learn more. Okay? But like I said before, this opportunity is not for everybody. I don't expect every single person to join overnightmillionaireuniversity.com. I know some of you can't believe it. It's just impossible for you to believe it. Some of you might think, oh, he's just trying to sell it on something. He's trying to force it. As a matter of fact, I don't want 90% of you. I don't want you to join. And let me tell you why. Because 90% of you never actually complete anything in your life. 90% of you will buy something and never use it. So I don't want you. Because I care about my reputation. I want to educate people that are actually going to utilize it and come out millionaires or rich or wealthy or happy or whatever they want. That's what I want. I want less than 10% of people to join. I don't want everybody. So if you're skeptical, don't join. If you think it's all about the money, don't join. If you're not sure if it'll work out, don't join. Just continue to do what you're currently doing, whatever that is. Whatever you're doing, keep doing it. Because you're not ready to grab the wheel, and I understand that. Even when I asked all of you to grab the wheel, when I said comment below, grab the wheel, less than 10% of you comment below. Less than 10% of you actually commented, grab the wheel. I don't want everybody. Everybody goes to church, but everybody's not going to heaven. Oh. There's a lot of people that's trying to be a doctor, but everybody's not going to be a doctor. There's a bunch of black boys that want to go to the NBA, but they're not going to the NBA. There's a lot of boys that want to go to the NFL, but it's a lot of them that are not going to be a part of the NFL. There's a lot of people that want to be famous artists and famous singers, and they're not going to be a famous artist. They're not going to be a famous singer. Some of you want to be creators and influencers and have tens of millions and 20 million. Some of you, it's not going to happen for. Okay? That's just the truth. So some of you that don't choose to join overnightmillionaireuniversity.com, I'm okay with that. Because it's not for you. Greatness is not for everybody. Okay? There will only be one LeBron James, only be one Michael Jordan. Everybody can't be a Tiger Woods, a Tom Brady. It's impossible. The chosen ones, they will sign up. They will enroll. They just will. Most of you, you would talk yourself out of it. You will. You will convince yourself to tell yourself why you shouldn't do it, but yet you've been listening and following me for years. Some of you, this is your first experience with me, and you're listening, and you spend over 30 minutes, and you still are not willing to grab the wheel. Because your mind is broken. Like if you ever want to know why you would spend 30 minutes with a young man looking at a dark screen or maybe on a podcast listening on a Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I don't know what day it is when you're listening to this. Any person that would spend 30 minutes of their time, okay, obviously it resonates with them, so they continue to listen. Because if it didn't resonate with you, you would have left already. And then where there's an opportunity for you to grab the wheel and you don't, that's because your mind and your brain is broken. You have convinced yourself why you don't need it, how you don't want it. It's too much. I don't have enough time. I'm too young. I'm too old. Your broken mind has created an excuse. It has created a barrier for you to cross over to have the life that you deserve to have. And guess what? I'm okay with that. Listen, overnightmillionaireuniversity.com is for the elite. It's for the big girls and big boys. Overnightmillionaireuniversity.com are for the go-getters. It's for the ambitious men and women that understand they just don't know what they don't know. These are the people who have decided to take accountability and say, you know what? I know nothing, Wes. Teach me. That's it. Because if you knew exactly what you, look, let's back up for a second. If you knew what you needed to know, you wouldn't be here. Let me say that again slowly. If you knew exactly what you needed to know to get what you want, why are you here? You wouldn't be here listening to me. Because that means that you have it figured out. But if you're here and you're still listening, then there's still an opportunity for you to grab the wheel. Okay? Like it's still an opportunity for you to grab the wheel right now. And I know you're thinking and wondering, well, Wesley, I don't know, Wesley. I want to join. I want to enroll into your university, but I've never heard of a university that teaches people how to understand their minds and to manifest their dreams. I don't know. I don't want to waste my money. I don't want to waste my time. I spent money before. I did this before. What I want you to understand, if that's the conversation that is going on in your head, it's because you're just creating more of the past. You just don't realize it here. See, this is what I teach in the university. See, most people, the reason why they're not elevating or excelling is not because they're not good people, not because they're not smart. It's because they continue to tell themselves this piss poor story of the past. They tell me, they tell themselves, they tell others everything that has happened in their past. And when you're thinking about the past, you just get more of the past. And the reason why it's hard to change people like that, because the past is so real to them because they have actually experienced it. So, and they make it more clear and vivid because they talk about it. Well, this happened and I did this and this happened and this hurt me and this and this. And what they don't realize that the same effort that they're putting forward to create more of the past, they could stop and begin to create the future. So, you know what, Wes, I'm beginning right now. I'm going to go to overnightmillionaireuniversity.com to learn what I don't know. I'm going to listen. I'm going to absorb every piece of content that you've ever created. And the reason why I'm listening to you, Wes, is because, well, you're living a life that's kind of similar to the life that I want to live. It's not about all your money. I get it. You got $30 million. I get it that you travel the world. I get it that you're a great father. I get it that you're all that. But you know what I like about you, Wes? You're bold. Fuck. You're powerful. You say what you feel. Okay? You're confident. That's what I like. You're a man that have realized that you've created your own rules. I want to do that. I want to create my own rules for my life. Yeah, like you're free, Wes. I want to be free. You're happy. I want to be happy. That's what I want. That's why I'm going to join today. That's why I'm going to go to overnightmillionaireuniversity.com and get started, because I want that. And I understand that the results that I'm currently receiving is just not the results that I deserve. I deserve more. How many of you believe you deserve more? Comment the words, I deserve more, right now. Comment those words. I deserve more. I deserve more. If you do, what are you going to do about it? That's my question. If you deserve more, how do you get more? Let me tell you a secret. You get more by learning more. And you learn more by the people who has more. I got it all. And I'm not bragging, but I got it all. Every area of my life is exceptional. I got plenty of money. I'm healthy, strong. I'm older, but I'm young. I look young. I'm a great father, a great lover, a great son. I'm happy. I'm free. I'm relaxed. People love me around the world. I have more. So if you want it, that's an opportunity for you. Hey, go to overnightmillionaireuniversity.com. I love you guys so much. Comment the word value below. If you got any value, hit the like and share button. I'll see you tonight. Much love. Get to work and let's go.